So in the news today, it's come out that the Daily Mail has obtained information through a Freedom of Information request. And they found that machete attacks in the UK have risen drastically. I mean, we knew this anyway. I mean, any Brit who watches the news will have seen these videos of the police stopping men in the street, opening their backpacks and finding these huge blades. It's just really, really common now. But the statistics and the data obtained by the Daily Mail has found that over the last 3 years, the amount of violent crimes committed with machetes has increased by 5 times. 5 times. So that the data shows that roughly every 90 minutes in the UK there's a machete attack. Every 90 minutes. Insane. And this is happening while London's going through this crisis at the moment. I think as of today, 56 lives have been taken from shooting and stabbing in the capital city. 56 lives. But the data that's been obtained, it shows that in the last 2 months of 2017, so not that long ago, police dealt with 928 crimes with machetes. In the last 2 months of 2017, 928 crimes. You would expect 928 machete attacks. You'd expect that over a period of decades, if not more. Like you'd expect a handful of machete attacks, max, in Britain. You know, in a civilized Western country, you don't expect people to be going out with blades and knives that look like something out of a zombie apocalypse film. You just don't expect that from Britain. But 928 involving machetes in 2 months. Out of this, 425 are in London. Of course, London's got a big population, about 9 million or so. But there is also the disproportionate crime rates there. So 425 in London, 99 in Greater Manchester, 77 in the West Midlands, 29 in Merseyside, near where I grew up, and 29 in West Yorkshire. But only 3 years before that, in the reported crimes, there was only 100 crimes over a month, over the same period. So we've gone from 100 crimes a month to 928 machete crimes in 2 months. But what's interesting about this is we know that Sadiq Khan is talking about this knife ban, this knife control policy and all that, you know, Nino, the police are coming after your butter knives kind of thing. While they're focusing on that kind of stuff, machetes are still legal. I didn't know this until today. Machetes are legal. And that's why they're being carried around. I mean, this was the machete that was used to kill Lee Rigby. Like, how did they miss that? A man gets near beheaded in the street by jihadis with a machete. Hundreds of machete crimes are happening every month. And they're still legal. But we're worried about butter knives. It's interesting. So machetes are becoming more and more popular, and they're kind of like a status symbol for gangs now. Easier to get hold of, I suppose. And actually I saw today, let's watch some footage. This was in Birmingham, reported on in the Express and all the nationals. And it's a man wielding a machete in a 20-person brawl in Birmingham. Let's watch this. So here's a man, clearly, I mean, who knows what's going on there, but he's waving a machete in broad daylight at people. Who would have ever expected this from a Western European country? This is third world stuff. This is not something you expect from a country of the Magna Carta and Shakespeare. It's fascinating. But you know, this kind of shows, obviously there's a crime problem, but there's going to be a root to this problem. You know, people like to blame this on poverty, but, you know, I didn't grow up rich. I grew up in a working class town. A lot of my mates certainly weren't rich. I knew a lot of people who would actually be considered quite poor, but they didn't go out with machetes killing people and attacking people with machetes. So there's only so much you can blame poverty on this for. I think this is a cultural problem. You know, clearly we're in times where people are feeling unsettled, unstable, out of place. Communities aren't cohesive. Something's happening. I'll leave that to you to decide why. But clearly, there's a cultural problem here. When we've got to a point where people are going out into the streets with machetes to attack people, and we've got 928 in a period of 2 months, and then the Mayor of London is looking at, well, how can we ban knives? Why aren't we looking at machetes? And why aren't we looking at the source of the problem? What's going on?